Hello, class. Today I wanted to talk about the states of matter. Okay, so the things we see around us exist in actually 5 states of matter, but I just want to talk about 3 of them, the 3 main ones that we experience in our everyday life, right? So the first one is solids. You may have seen this before. So we have solids, liquids, and gases. Now, what you're looking at is a simulation, right? We're zooming in on what's actually happening when you transfer from one state to another. So let's take a look at solids. Now, first off, what we're looking at is the molecular structure, kind of like I said, we're zoomed in. We're looking at water. We're zooming in on water, right? And this is water in a solid state. Now, some of the things you'll observe is that it is not completely still, and that is because of the kinetic molecular theory of matter. Everything that we see around us is actually vibrating. And so we can see that although there's some structure to them, they're still moving. So solids, even though we go around and we look at things that are solid, we see that they're completely still. If we zoom in, we'll see that they're actually wiggling a little bit. Okay. Now, a solid has a low kinetic energy. Okay. Now, I want you to notice as we increase the heat, what are some things that you notice? Okay, one of the things that should point out to you or that should jump out at you is they're actually moving. I'm going to pause this real quick. They're actually moving more quickly, right? So remember, energy can only do 2 things. It could either make things more hot, right? Or increase the heat of substances, or it can cause it to do work. Okay? So when we increase the heat, we're actually increasing the speed at which the things that make up that substance are moving. Okay, so once again, this is water, and now I'm just going to click on this. So now it's in a liquid state, right? So we have a solid, we increase the temperature, and eventually it becomes it transfers into a new phase known as liquid, right? So it experienced a phase change. Now we continue to increase the temperature, and eventually we notice they're having a good old time. Round and around and around. Okay, so we continue to increase the temperature. Now guess what phase of matter this is. Well, you only have one other option, and that is a gas, right? So when water, H2O, has enough kinetic energy, it becomes a gas, right? And this is known as water vapor. And so the next part of our kinetic molecular theory is that the particles are colliding with the walls of their container. And we do see that these particles are hitting each other, but oftentimes gas particles don't really hit each other because they're so spread apart, right? So that's the basic idea about the 3 states of matter. Remember that in all the states they have kinetic energy, so they're moving around. But as you increase the temperature, we're going to go ahead and go back. As we increase the temperature, we increase the kinetic energy, and it then goes to the next phase, which is liquid. And then if we increase the temperature or increase the heat, which eventually leads to increase in temperature, eventually it becomes a gas. Okay, this is Mr. Jha, and I'll see you in class.